Shekoach Bell. What an uplifting Devar Torah. Out of this story of family discord and deceit, you have fashioned a heartfelt call for family unity and support. Acknowledging that no family is perfect, you're asking us to transcend our imperfections and to forgive them in each other for the goal of supporting one another through the ups and downs of life. In your story about your dislocated elbow and Alice's faster progress on the ski slopes, you remind us that following your advice isn't simple and sometimes will require us to overcome our inclination toward anger or jealousy or other difficult emotions. But that through this effort, we'll become stronger individuals and stronger as a unit. And honesty and respect and kindness and gratitude are the qualities you feel we most need to cultivate to achieve this. Our origin story is notable for how imperfect our ancestors appear to be. The Torah does not hide their flaws. We see Sarah get jealous of Hagar and Ishmael and send them away. We see Joseph's brothers sell him into slavery. That one's pretty bad. And here we see Rebekah and Jacob conspire to take the birthright from Esau and take advantage of Isaac's blindness to deceive him and make it happen. These ancestors are meant to be our exemplars. They are our role models. What do we make of this? There is a fascinating story told by Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi in the Talmud in Shabbat 88b. When Moses ascended on high to receive the Torah, the ministering angels said before the Holy One, blessed be God, Master of the universe, what is a human being of flesh and blood doing here among us? The Holy One said to the angels, he came to receive the Torah. The angels said, the Torah is a hidden treasure that was concealed by you 974 generations before the creation of the world, and you seek to give it to flesh and blood? What is man that you are mindful of him, and the Son of Man that you think of him? Instead, they continued, God, our Lord, how glorious is your name in all the earth that your majesty is placed above the heavens. The rightful place of God's majesty, the Torah, is in the heavens with us, the angel said. And the Holy One, blessed be God, said to Moses, this is all pretty much a quote from the Talmud, all that I'm reading here. God says to Moses, provide them with an answer as to why the Torah should be given to people. But Moses was afraid that the angels would burn him with fire from their mouths. So God spread the radiance of God's presence over Moses to protect him. And here is what Moses said. Master of the universe, the Torah that you're giving me, what is written in it? I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of Egypt from the house of bondage. Moses said to the angels, did you descend to Egypt? Were you enslaved by Pharaoh? Why should the Torah be yours? And again, Moses asked, what else is written in it? And God said, quoting the Torah, you shall have no other gods before me. And Moses said to the angels, do you dwell among the nations who worship idols that you require this special warning? And again, Moses asked, what else is written in it? And the Holy One, blessed be God, said, remember the Shabbat day and sanctify it. And Moses asked the angels, do you perform labor that you require rest from it? And again, Moses asked, what else is written in it? Do not take the name of Adonai your God in vain, meaning that it's prohibited to swear falsely. And Moses asked the angels, do you conduct business with one another that may lead you to swear falsely? Again, Moses asked, what else is written in it? And the Holy One, blessed be God, said to him, honor your father and mother. Moses asked the angels, do you have a father or a mother that would render the commandment to honor them relevant to you? And again, Moses asked, what else is written in it? And God said, you shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal. And Moses asked the angels, is there jealousy among you? Or is there an evil inclination within you that would render these commandments relevant? Immediately, the angels agreed that God made the right decision to give the Torah to people. In other words, the Torah is not made for perfect angels. It is made for ordinary, imperfect people, people who make mistakes, people who've been through difficult things, people who are tempted to do the wrong thing, people who have strong feelings and an inclination that can lead them to act in ways that we are not proud of. There is no expectation in Judaism that we're supposed to be perfect, and that's why it's so important that we see our ancestors with all their foibles and flaws, lest we idolize them, or lest we try to hold ourselves to an impossible standard. And so that we can remember that we can love and respect and be kind and grateful and support each other despite our imperfections. That we ourselves are worthy of all those things even though we are not perfect. Think about the fact that the Jewish people welcome every new year, celebrate the new year with a focus on our imperfections. The assumption of our holiest days of the year is that every single one of us sins. And the essential assumption is that we are not defined by our sins, but that we can do and be better. We can, every one of us, every Jew, and the story of Jonah comes on Yom Kippur to tell us that not just Jews, but every human being can learn and change and grow and heal and do better. It's incredibly accepting of us, our tradition, and incredibly hopeful about who we can be, us and all of humanity. We all know that we're living in a time of cancel culture. It's been going on for a while, in which a person can say one wrong word and be canceled, rejected, reputation destroyed, career ruined. We're simultaneously living in a time in which people are saying intentionally outrageous and hurtful things about other groups of people in the public sphere. It's like two polar extremes. One is that people say intentionally disrespectful and mean, biased, hateful things. And the other is that people are supposed to be perfect. It seems that one of the important things that we can contribute to this moment in our society is a middle path, where we endeavor to treat each other with respect and kindness, as you suggested, Belle. But we also don't hold ourselves or each other to impossible standards, that we allow that we're all works in progress. Now, we might disagree with one another. We might have biases that we've never examined, that unintentionally hurtful things might come out of our mouths, and that we're going to decide to be patient with one another, to give each other the benefit of the doubt wherever possible, to make room for dialogue and learning. Some of you might know, and you just heard it announced, that a new film is out about our congregation and our partnership with a Black Baptist church in Bedford-Stuyvesant called Antioch Baptist Church. Not the film, but the partnership was actually funded generously by UJA. And we've been in this relationship for about 5 years with a goal of addressing racism and anti-Semitism between our two communities and in Brooklyn. It has not been easy. It turns out that there is a lot of racism and anti-Semitism shaping our world. And as you all know, anti-Semitism has only been increasing. My sister, who is a celebrated filmmaker, decided to follow what would happen as we worshiped together, as we traveled and learned from each other's histories together, as we kept meeting and discussing the complicated and delicate dynamics between us. And I know that Belle was actually involved in a partnership similar to this. It's not easy, right? The resulting film that my sister made is called All God's Children, and it premiered in a sold-out theater to an extended standing ovation 2 weeks ago as the centerpiece film at the Doc NYC Film Festival. And it's gotten glowing reviews in Variety and Deadline, among other outlets. The overwhelming reaction from the audience seems to be related to what you're talking about, Belle. Even when we didn't agree with each other, even when they did things that were anti-Semitic, and they did, and even when they felt that we didn't understand the racism that was shaping their lives and their world, neither of us walked away. We actually came to love each other, truly to love each other. We still don't agree about a lot of things. We still don't fully understand each other. We're not ignoring the problems between us. We speak about them every time we gather, but we're not gonna walk away, ever. And I think the audience and the public are seeing this in the film as an example of what we all need right now with each other. As Jewish people, and here as a largely liberal community, we have our own work to do on this. For very good reasons, we get alarmed when we see or hear anti-Semitism. And we get alarmed when people are doing things we find antithetical to our values. Particularly with anti-Semitism, we feel unsafe, we feel threatened. We are worried about what it portends, and that is appropriate. But in many cases, we will have better outcomes if we can stay calm and not cancel people? Can we imagine never letting anti-Semitism to go by unaddressed, but simultaneously trying to give the benefit of the doubt, staying in the conversation, and if the intentions of the others seem to be good, approaching from the perspective of listening, of teaching, of learning? As we make clear during the Yamim Noraim, during the holy days, we believe that every person is capable of change, ourselves included. Every person can learn and grow and do better, especially when we help each other do so. In our Parsha, we do not see Rebecca or Jacob at their best, but we know that's not all of who they are. Rebecca's the same person who, with Chesed last week in Torah, generously offered water to Eliezer and his 10 camels, and bravely set off to a land she did not know. And Jacob is going to exclaim in wonder about God's presence at the opening of next week's Parsha, and he's going to toil for 14 years for his love for Rachel, and he's going to wrestle with an angel to become our eponymous ancestor. They are not defined by their worst moments, and no one else should be either. None of us is perfect. We're not the angels in heaven who thought they deserved the Torah. We're just humans who've been through hard things and done our best and failed and been tempted and lost our temper and made mistakes and just keep trying. Each of us deserves the benefit of the doubt, and we deserve respect and honesty and kindness and support, as you taught us, Belle, despite our imperfections. That is how we will grow. That is how we will improve. That is how we will find our way back to one another as human beings in our families and in our larger human family. May we have the courage to keep trying. Shabbat Shalom.